Good afternoon, one and all. This is Shruti Simhadri. Today we will discuss about conditional statements. In the previous session, I was discussed with simple if and if else statements. Now the continuation for this conditional statements. Here I am going to discuss with the third one, nested if. An if structure having another if structure as part of statements is called nested if structure. Okay, so the syntax for nested if is like this. If condition 1, if this condition 1 is going to be true, we can enter into the next if statement. Okay, so if this condition 2 is also going to be true, we can get true block of statement. Okay, so let us look into the example now. Okay, so this example is going to show whether the given three numbers are equal or not. Okay, so for this I am writing a program in C. Okay, so first I am using link section here, hash include stdio.h. This is the standard input output header file for printf and scanf statements. To link up printf and scanf statements to the standard library, we are using stdio.h header file. Okay, so after that we can start with main function. Okay, so for comparing whether the given numbers are equal or not, we need three variables here, a, b and c, which is of integer data type. Okay, so and then I am writing a printf statement here to enter the values of a and b. Okay, so a, b and c, enter values here. Okay, so then scanf. Okay, so to read the values of a, b and c, I am using scanf statement. Okay, so after this I am writing a condition. If a is equal to b, if a is equal to b, if this statement is going to be true, what will happen? We will enter into the next condition. If b is equal to c, then print given values are equal. Given values are equal. Okay, so this is what the nested if I was written here. Okay, so let us check how it will works. Okay, so here ABC are the variables which is of integer data type. Whenever this statement was occurred, ABC variables are created and 2 bytes of memory is allotted to ABC. Okay, so then after we can get a statement called enter values on our monitor, because in printf statement I was given a string called enter values that is going to be the monitor now, enter values. Okay, so after that you should enter a value, b value and c value. Okay, so here after giving the values, this condition is going to check whether a is equal to b or not. Okay, so here instead of a it is replaced with 5 and instead of b replaced this b with 5. Okay, so this condition checks whether 5 is equal to 5 or not. Okay, so here 5 is always equal to 5, that's why this statement is going to be true. Okay, so if this statement is true and it again checks for another condition here, that is b is equal to c or not. Here b is also 5 and c is also 5. Here b is equal to c. Okay, so that's why we can get an output called given values are equal. Okay, so suppose instead of using these values and the next execution, when I was given values like this 5, 15 and 5. Okay, so again it checks for 5 is equal to 15. Is this true? No. Okay, so it becomes false. That's why this statement is not going to be executed. Okay, so suppose we are considering like this. Okay, so we are considering like this. Okay, so I'm entering the values 15, 15 and 5. Okay, so here it checks with 15 is equal to 15. Yes, true. This is equal to 15 is equal to 15. Okay, so it will enter into the next condition. Here it checks with 15 is equal to 5. No. Okay, so this statement becomes false. That's why this output not appeared in your console. Okay, so this is what the functioning of nested if. Okay, so in the next type of conditional statement is nested if else. Okay, so we will discuss with the next topic called nested if else. An if structure can have one more if else structure as part of statements, and even an else part of an if else structure can also have again an if else structure. This sort of building the if else structure is called nested if else structure. Here, look into the syntax now. Okay, so if condition 1 going to be true, it will enter into the next condition. If this condition is going to be true, it will display true block of statements, otherwise else false block of statements are going to be executed. Okay, so if this condition is going to be failed here, these the true block of first condition is going to be skipped, and it will check with the false block of this condition 1. Okay, so let us consider an example now. Let us consider an example. We want to find the largest of three numbers. Okay, so for finding largest of three numbers, I'm going to write a program here. Okay, so for writing a program, first you have to use hash include stdio. You have to include this header file to your program, because whatever the printf statements and scanf statements are there, those definitions are there in this header file. That's why we can link those functions to this standard input and output header file. Okay, so after that you can start your program with main section. Okay, so for finding numbers, I need three variables here. Okay, so then enter values, then scanf statement, %d, %d, ampersand a, ampersand b, ampersand c. Okay, so next, if a greater than b, if a greater than c. Okay, so what will happen here? Printf. Okay, so what is going to be print here? A is big. Okay, so whenever this condition, second condition is going to be failed, what will happen? We will go with else clause. Okay, so else printf what? C is big, else C is big. Okay, so then close this. Okay, so next, whenever this condition is going to be true, these block of statements are going to be executed. Okay, so whenever the first condition itself is true, what will happen? Again, we will check with another statement. Okay, so else if c greater than b, else if c greater than b. Okay, printf. Okay, so what we will going to print here? C is big. Okay, so else printf b is big. Okay, so then close this else block and close main function. Okay, so this is the program for finding biggest of three numbers. Let us look into the execution now. Okay, so here I am passing values like 5, 4 and 3. Okay, so now we will check with this. Okay, so here a is replaced with 5 and b is replaced with 4. Okay, so is 5 greater than 4? True. Okay, so that's why we will enter into the next condition here. Okay, so here a is 5 and c is 3. Okay, so again this condition is also going to be true. That's why we can get an output called a is big. Okay, so suppose in a next execution, in second rotation, okay, so this is first rotation and this is second execution. Okay, executing this program again. Okay, so in the second execution I am passing the values like this: 4, 9 and 5. Okay, so we will check with these values. Okay, so here a value is 4 and b value is 5. Is 4 greater than 5? This becomes false. Okay, so whenever this condition becomes false, we will skip all the statements in the true block statement and we will move to the else clause here. Okay, so again what will happen here is c. Okay, so this c greater than b. Is C greater than B? What is the value of B here? 9. Is 5 greater than 9? No, this is also becomes false. That's why false block of statement is executed here. B is big. Okay, so let us consider another example here. Okay, so this is what third execution. Okay, so now we will consider other values like and 7. 4, 5 and 7. We will check with 4 is greater than 5. Is 4 is greater than 5. This becomes false. This becomes false. Okay, so again we will move into the else class here. Here we can check with 7 greater than 5. Okay, so is 7 greater than 5? Yes, 7 is greater than 5. Okay, so that's why it will display a statement called C is big. Okay, so in this way nested if else conditional statements are going to be processed. Okay, so I think you can better understand with these examples. Thank you for watching.